All right. Hey, guys. Hey, so I came on here today to make sure that there is something epic that is going to be displayed today. Now, speaking of epic, you got Mr. Dan Vasc over here, who just, after so many awesome things that this man has done, he gets these negative comments. So, I decided that today I want to react to those negative comments. Why? Well, because I've gotten some of those negative comments, and I want to see how he responds to them. I mean, I know he's got that shirt that says something like stop whining, or no, it's not stop whining. It's like just shut up and do something. That's what shirt he has. And that shirt is kind of inspiring. So I figured, why not, see what other quirky stuff that he's got. This is a little 13-minute video that he put together. It's probably going to end up being like a 20-minute video here. But with that being said, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And let's take a look at this video of him doing a compilation of random stuff.
Hello my friends, I just got home from the gym and I thought as I get on with my day I will try to reply to some of your questions, read some of your comments. Let's do it!
Replying to comments. Something that I like doing.
So, the first question comes from Carla Viraghi, and she asks, how did you find Victor? Well, back when I was about...
Before he answers, I'm assuming Victor is the guitarist that he uses, Victor the guitar player, the one whose head is never showing, but always is shredding on the guitar. I'm pretty sure that that's who he's talking about.
I had about 15,000 subscribers. I had no money, and I was trying to do Ninja Sex Party covers, and I was looking all over the internet for Ninja Sex Party instrumentals, and I typed on YouTube Ninja Sex Party instrumental, and a Victor cover showed up. However, his instrumental had his guitar leads doing the vocal melodies, so I just contacted him. Hey man, do you have a version of this instrumental without the guitar leads? He said, no I don't, but I can do one for you. And that one was Unicorn Wizard, if I'm not mistaken. And we loved working with each other, and we've been working together ever since. The cool thing about Victor, the guitar nerd, is that...
Oh, jeez. I guess I just fast forward the video without even trying. So really quick, I just have to point something out, that when someone is actually able to just reproduce something like with the drop of a finger or the snap of a finger, they are incredibly talented at their gift. Just saying. It takes some real talent to just recreate something. You're like, oh yeah, I can recreate that, no big deal. I mean, it's a real thing. Victor the guitar player is really good. So it's kind of cool to hear the backstory of how they met.
Cool thing about Victor the guitar nerd is that he's the only collaborator that I work with that I give actually a percentage of my earnings.
Oh,
I don't do this with any other person, because he worked for me so many times for free back on the days when I had no money. My channel was just starting, and nowadays I'm happy to be able to say thank you by giving him actually a percentage.
That's cool.
Of the videos that he's in.
That's really cool.
So I try to divide my meals into more or less 40% protein, 40% fibers, and 20% carbohydrates. And the carbohydrates that I consume are only like whole grain stuff. It's not fancy, doesn't look pretty, but I'm probably gonna live more than most people. And next...
I'm only laughing over here because, I mean, what can this guy not do? Seriously. he's a singer. He shreds, or not? He shreds. He's absolutely amazing. He's got these connections that are incredible. He's got a 4-range octave. He goes to the gym. He's healthy. Is there anything this man cannot or does not do? Seriously. Wow.
Question is, why is your channel in English and not in Portuguese? That is from Bergison Thompson. Well, weirdly enough, I'm asked this a lot, especially by Brazilians. And people from outside of Brazil will think, hey, this is a logical answer. It's for the same reason PewDiePie speaks English on his channel and not Swedish. Imagine if PewDiePie would make his channel in Swedish, like we would probably have never even heard of him. Yeah, so that's my answer. I guess it's more logical to want to reach out to the biggest amount of people that you can. But you guys from outside of Brazil need to understand something. I don't know if your countries are like that too, but here in Brazil, there's a lot of, how can I say, cultural nationalism, which is different from political nationalism. I will explain. Some Brazilians, not all, I have wonderful Brazilian fans here in this channel. I was in São Paulo this week, like, my Brazilian fans are amazing, I love them. But some Brazilians get actually angry when they see Brazilian artists doing something that is not specifically for Brazil. So for example, some Brazilians come to my channel, see that I don't speak Portuguese, don't care about putting subtitles and stuff, and they actually get angry. They say, hey, you are a Brazilian, you need to do stuff in Brazilian Portuguese. So yeah, needless to say that this is totally an irrational argument. But some people say, hey, okay, if you do stuff in English, it's okay, but you must do Portuguese subtitles, or you must do a 2-language channel. You must speak English and Portuguese. And that is irrational too. Like, less than 2% of the world speaks Portuguese, even less Brazilian Portuguese. If I would make a channel in 2 languages, it would be in English and Spanish.
Okay, there's a little ad, so I'm gonna make a comment really quick. I am actually a web designer, so that's funny that said that. All right, so okay, so really quick, this is not just a thing in Brazil. This is actually also a thing here in the States. People get really angry when we import stuff from out of the U.S. and I'm like, why? It's cheaper. Like, it's already made. It's already made, it's already here, it's already on the store shelf. There is nothing that is going to reverse that cycle and cause this product that is in my hand now, because I just bought it, to just disappear and go back to wherever it came from. There's no way for that to happen. And the same thing happens for, people who are here in the States who say, oh, well, we live in America and people should speak English. Well, newsflash, there's about 200 different languages here. And it would be no different than if you were going to another country. Most, and I say most, not all, but most countries out there, they speak a form of English. So if I were to go over there, I would find someone to help me translate. But yet we can't do the same thing in reverse. Like, it's just a messed up thing. And I think people are people, and I don't think that borders should be as divisive as they are. And unfortunately, they really are. They're just completely divisive, and they're basically just lines that allow people to say, hey, you stay in your corner of the world and you stay in yours. Hello, we're all people. We got the same kind of blood running through our veins. We have the same kind of heart functions that help keep us alive. Same kind of brain chemistry. And the thing is, we're all someone's child. We all have a family. There's nothing different between me on this side of the planet and someone on the other side of the planet. We are both human beings. And that's why I don't understand why people make such a big deal about languages or cultures. There's so much technology right now to translate things that it's not even funny. Like, it's not even funny. You can go to a third world country and speak to people not even speaking their native language. Google Translate. You have look at things like Duolingo that teach you how to speak another language. I'm learning Hebrew right now, and my wife's learning Hindi. Like, we're learning other languages, not only to affect change, but to be able to communicate with people. Like, it's a thing, you know. But so it's not just in Brazil.
If I would make a channel in 2 languages, it would be in English and Spanish.
Smart. 2 biggest languages in the world.
Next question is from Luthien, and she asks, if you could collaborate with any singer in the world except Eric Adams, who would it be? Well, I wouldn't reply Eric Adams anyway, because in spite of he being my favorite...
I just want to comment on a comment that was put in the comment section. JG said we should celebrate our differences and learn from each other, not be afraid. I agree with you. I agree that there is going to be a difference in human beings, and that is 100% okay. It is okay to be different. Diversity is beautiful. I mean, if you notice around the world, we don't all have the same color skin. We don't all have the same dialect. I could speak a version of English, and someone else can come along and be like, hey, you're saying that word wrong. I'll give you a good example. I say template, and my wife says I say it wrong. I know how to say template, but she says it a different way, and it drives her nuts. But, hey, celebrate our differences. Don't be a template. So let's listen to this question again.
This question is from Luthien, and she asks, if you could collaborate with any singer in the world except Eric Adams, who would it be? Well, I wouldn't reply Eric Adams anyway, because in spite of he being my favorite singer of all time, there are other reasons you may want to collaborate with a singer, and my first answer wouldn't be Eric Adams. If I could collaborate with any singer in the world right now, it would be Tobias Summit.
Okay. Love. Such cute puppies. Such cute puppies. I know he's had them in his videos every once in a while. They're adorable. And speaking of Brazil, there was one thing that I've wanted to do for the longest time. And I'm talking years. Like years. I've always had like a sweet spot for Brazilian music. I'm guessing it's the Portuguese language. But I used to call it Brazil. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say that. I don't want to offend anybody who lives in Brazil. But I basically, yeah, I've always had a sweet spot in my heart for Brazil. I've always wanted to visit.
Right. Next question comes from Michaela, and she asks, if you could be a singer in any band, present or past, in the world, which one would it be? This is a very interesting question, Michaela, and the answer might shock you, but my answer is none. I am doing right now exactly what I want to do. Of course, if there's an opportunity, I will certainly think about it, but right now I am doing what I want to do. Good. I don't accept silver medals. I don't take plan Bs, and life gets so much better when you do that. I am doing exactly what I want to do, and I'm going towards the exact place where I want to be, and I advise you guys to do the same. Life gets so much better. The next question comes from Rebecca, and she asks, I would love to know with which cover you had the most fun so far and which one you found the most challenging. Well, the answer to both those questions is the same, because challenge equals fun most of the time, not always. That would be Africa for sure. It was very fun and very challenging to try to reproduce those harmonies, and the song is awesome. Hey, and the video is back on. A lot of people were asking me, hey, where's your Africa video? Well, I got a copyright strike on that. So I contacted YouTube. The YouTube copyright system, it's awful, it sucks. There is no innocent until proven guilty. On the contrary, but I contacted YouTube about it. They were actually very helpful, and the video is back on.
You know, the copyright thing is actually a legit thing. There's been a lot of videos that I tried to post that have just been flat out blocked. And the thing is, if you fight it, then you run the risk of getting a copyright strike, and that looks really bad on you. So when I upload a video, most of the time it does say copyrighted, but there's a difference between just something that's saying copyright, and then which means I can't monetize it, and that's fine. I'm not even worried about that. I just like having fun with this. But there's other times where it'll flat out say blocked, and I'm just like, bro, really? And like Hotel California got blocked. There's a couple of bigger names that got blocked. My wife's reaction channel has had numerous ones that have been blocked. You know, she's done some that she spent a long time editing the thumbnail, a long time, you know, getting it prepped to be uploaded, and then she uploads it, and it's like she spent an hour on something that she can't even post. So it's like it's a thing. The copyright thing is a thing, and the church actually had released a CD, and that CD has songs that are on YouTube. And what ended up happening is if I try to react to it, it still says copyright, and even though we own the copyright to it, the actual like legal copyright to it, we own the physical tracks themselves, it still says copyright, and even if we fight it, we can't get it undone. So it's so broken. It is incredibly, incredibly broken.
Sucks. There is no innocent until proven guilty. On the contrary, but I contacted YouTube about it. They were actually very helpful, and the video is back on. Next question from Lane Asville. Dan, would you let go of your career and your dreams for a great love? If yes, why?
No.
That is actually a beautiful question. Of course, my answer is no!
First we got another ad.
Artistic expression begins within us.
It's a beautiful question. No. I gotta watch that again.
Next question from Lane Asville. Dan, would you let go of your career and your dreams for a great love? If yes, why? That is actually a beautiful question. Of course, my answer is no! Going upstairs now.
I'm probably gonna lose it every single time I hear that one. It is a great question, though. It is a great question. You know, I think that when you're in a relationship with somebody, even if they don't have the same goals as you do, if you can travel in the same path, then you're golden. You're golden. My wife and I, when we first met, we had this agreement that we would walk in the same direction. We don't need to be walking on top of each other in order to really get our goals accomplished. But you walk side by side, and you're holding hands as you're walking. And every step you take is another accomplished goal that you have under your belt. And those accomplished goals can be goals that you have for yourself personally. But then you have your hands that you're holding, and that paints the picture of what your marriage is actually like. You both have your lives, you both have your goals, but you're walking in the same direction, having a goal that is similar long term. And for us, our long term goal is stability. Our long term goal is a happy marriage. Our long term goal is serving the Lord together. That's where we're at. And not everybody's relationship is going to be the same. Sometimes a relationship dynamic looks different, but for us, that's what it looks like. And what the other thing is while we're holding hands, walking in the same direction, those little baby steps that I'm taking for my goals and the little baby steps that she's taking for her goals are supported by the other person. So even though we're walking our own path and we're making goals for ourselves, we don't give up on our dreams. It just like Lillian says, never give up on your dreams. It's not worth giving up on your dreams. Now, if your dream is to go off and cheat on your wife, that's a bigger discussion. But if your goal is to pursue music, if your goal is to pursue education, it's good to have your partner's support. And I'll tell you that anything I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, I'd really like to do X, Y, and Z. She'll be like, awesome, let's find a plan to help get you there. And when she says the same thing to me, I'm like, well, let's sit down and figure out how we can get you there. Because it's a mutual support package when you're married or when you're with somebody. So if someone's expecting you to give up your dreams because of love, maybe they're not the right person. Maybe they're not the right one for you. Just saying.
Now to my office.
Yep.
My office is in the attic.
Yep, and JG commented again and said, if it's a great love, that person wouldn't want you to give up your dreams. They wouldn't want you to give up your dreams. They would want what's best for you. What's best for you, sometimes, and most of the time, I'm going to say most of the time, isn't control. Because there's some times where like, I know for my wife and I, she handles the bills and stuff. And so I kind of like, I give part of, my portion to her, and she handles that thing. She has control of that. I don't want control of the bills. She can have that part. But I have control of different things in our relationship. But again, it's mutual. We're headed in the same direction, doing our own things, but in the same direction together. That's the difference.
Of my house, my studio is downstairs, but I still prefer up here. Here's where I edit my videos, but it's also where I play my retro games. My retro room is up here. Hey, would you like a tour of my studio, my office? Tell me in the comments below if you want a video tour, and if enough people want it, I'll do it. Question from Joey McCluskey. Has anyone ever told you that you look a little bit like the wrestler Roman Reigns? You think so? Well,
I mean, I've been told that I look like, when I was growing up in high school, I had a lot of bullies, and I got told one time I look like Rikishi's wife, and I'm like, bro, really? Really? That's messed up.
Ever told you that you look a little bit like the wrestler Roman Reigns? You think so? Well, I get a lot of Jon Snow and Jacksepticeye with long hair. I personally love when new subscribers come with those Jon Snow jokes, thinking that they're the very first. Next question from Alina Gravilenko. Sorry if I butcher your name, sweetie. What is your advice on personal coping mechanism and strategy in music industry? To never give up no matter the hardships. What kept you going during the heavy times in life? Well, what keeps me going during the heavy times in life are the heavy times themselves. I think most people need a shift on their mindset, and they need to understand that during the heavy times it's not a good time to give up, because there's that phrase, if you're walking through hell, keep walking. Hell is a terrible place to stop. If you stop in hell, that means you will live in hell. So if you stop during the hard times, that means times will be hard forever. So when you stop to think about that, I don't keep going in spite of the heavy times. I keep going because of the heavy times. The heavy times motivate me to keep going. It's a whip on my back. And about personal coping mechanism, I'm not sure.
So really quick, because this is actually a really good answer that he has. It's a good metaphor. I think there's a little more to it, but I mean, it can be an encouragement when you are going through something really difficult. And I know sometimes it's like, why would I want to ever go through something really hard? Your trials and your tribulations, they build something up inside of you, whether you realize it or not. When we get to the other side of those problems, there's something else that fills that gap that's there. It's usually some form of strength or some form of hope. For me, I believe that is hope. What fills that place of all that pain that I just had to go through is hope. And for me, it may be different than you. I'm a Christian. I'm a pastor. Most of you guys know that if you've been on my channel for a while. And so I believe that what takes the place of my trials and tribulations is the hope that comes from Jesus. That's what I believe. You may believe something different. Not here to have that conversation today. But I will tell you that for those of you who are experiencing problems and trials, there may be a mountain in front of you, but when you're on the other side of it, you can look back and you can say, oh my gosh, I am through that trial. And now you move on. You have a little bit more strength and you have a little bit more of a pep in your step. So it's a little bit different.
But what you mean by that, but what I would say about coping with stuff is don't cope with stuff. Make stuff have to cope with you. Be a creator of your surroundings. And
I was kind of shocked when you said that, actually. I was a little bit shocked. And there's different metaphors that people use to be able to explain these things. Personally, I don't think that there's anything wrong with the traditional coping skills. You have, you can go through, counseling groups. You can go through DBT, skill training. You can do things like distraction in order to, be able to get through things. You can write, you can journal, listen to music, go to the gym, work out, get some of that negative energy out. I know for me, when I was in high school, I swam. I mean, I was the school punching bag. And so it was like, I just wanted to get away from it. And what filled that is what it is today. Like, my heart and my passion is for the underdog, is for those who have been oppressed, is for those who are struggling. And I don't think there's anything wrong with therapy. If you need therapy, go to therapy. Like, there is nothing wrong with that. As human beings, we need help. Sometimes we just need that extra little measure of help. And I firmly believe as a Christian is that Luke in the Bible, the one who followed Apostle Paul around, I believe that he was a doctor. Okay? I believe he was a physician. And so what does that tell me? That tells me that sometimes God will put doctors and therapists and people who have training and experience to help you deal with whatever it is that you're dealing with, whether it be medical or psychiatric or whatever the case. There's nothing wrong with seeking additional help at all. There's nothing wrong with the traditional coping skills. There's nothing wrong with reaching out for help. I think it's important. And I think that's what's lacking right now is people don't know how to ask for help. It's okay to have this mindset. 100% okay. Let me make the world cope with me. At the end of the day, not everybody's there. Not everybody can rise over the occasion on their own. Sometimes they need a little bit more support, and that's okay. Because people are going to be in different spots in their life. They're not all going to be in the same spot. But it is encouraging to know that people are rising above their obstacles. They are rising above their challenges. And it's very, 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 very heartwarming to know that Dan has helped people through his music. It's very, very heartwarming. I love it. I love it so much.
Not a creature of your surroundings. And you actually already are a creator of your surroundings, because everything that happens or doesn't happen to you are direct consequences of your decisions or lack of them. Now, getting a little bit more practical on the part of strategy in music industry, internet, YouTube, social media. We need to stop our 80s and 90s mentality, that mentality of attracting the attention of some gatekeeper, some guardian of opportunities that has to discover you. You need to be discovered. You don't need to be discovered. You need to discover yourself, and you need to make your fans discover you. You don't need the gatekeepers anymore. You don't need the guardians of opportunities anymore. You are the guardian of your own opportunities, and you need to kick the door down and get after it. Be present on the internet. Don't let people forget about you. I would say if you want to get professional on YouTube, the minimum would be 1 video a week. Learn with the reactions of your fans. Understand that the fans are the bosses, and their reactions pretty much dictate what works and what doesn't. But on the other hand, you need to be faithful to yourself too. It's the kind of situation that there are two forces pulling from opposite sides and creating sort of a balance. You need to be faithful to yourself, to the things you want, to the things you love to do, because otherwise you won't stand waking up in the morning. And there's the opposite force, that is what people want, and just keep going with it. And you need to.
So one of the things that he mentioned a little bit ago, these gatekeepers are like these record label executives that it's very much, the music industry is very much about who you know. Unfortunately, the actual like world's music industry. But if you look at the world's music industry, look at what's going on right now. Look at Diddy. Money changes people. The reality is the top level execs, and not everybody's messed up. There's a lot of really, really good producers out there. I mean, I remember going through audio production school, and I actually have my degree on my wall over here. And I went through that school 5 or 6 years ago, and they basically promised a open door and big old ordeal, and it was just false promises. And I wrote some music, I wrote some raps. Yes, I'm a rapper pastor. But, at the end of the day, I'm really glad that I didn't end up in the music industry. I just don't think it was for me. Now, do I think that I'll be doing reactions forever? Probably not. But at the same time, like, there's a certain level of enjoyment that I get, there's a certain level of enjoyment that I get to be able to listen to music, and I've always enjoyed that. Music has always been something that's changed my life, and I know for a lot of other people it's the same way. I found that there's a lot of undertones in some of the songs that indicate a need for help. Sometimes it's a cry for help. Sometimes it's it's a letter that gets misinterpreted, or whatever the case. I remember writing a song when I was in high school, and it was about something completely unrelated to what somebody else was going through, but somebody else was on the border of making the decision to opt out of life. And they heard the song that I wrote. And I wrote it not about suicide, not about any sort of life-saving nothing, but for whatever reason, it gave them hope. And I mean, I remember being, 13 years old, 14 years old, being like, yeah, you want a copy of it? Here. I always wonder if they're doing well. But at the end of the day, words have power. Lyrics have power. Music has power. And it's like, you can be in two different parts of the world, get two different interpretations from the same piece of music, and it doesn't take away from the original intention of the music. But in some aspects, that piece of music could potentially save someone's life. And it's like, as Derek makes a good point, why he's doing independent and he's doing well, he's a prime example of what I'm talking about. He's not falling into these systematic traps. He's actually making a difference in people's lives. How do I know? Because you guys have shared your stories in my comment section. You guys have been so incredible and so kind and so loving. And you guys just love Dan. And I've fallen in love with this man. I've only done, a billion reaction videos already. No, I'm just kidding. 45, 46, something like that. See my playlist. But at the end of the day, like his music is actually love. His music is kindness. His music is hope for a lot of people. And that's something that not every person in the music industry can say. Because the music industry, the traditional music industry, oftentimes just does it for clout. They just do it to get to get famous. They just do it, and the songs don't even mean anything. Like, they don't even mean anything. They can't even, half the time, you don't even know what the lyrics are. I digress. This definitely is not a slam against the music industry, but it is definitely a proponent of me being a proponent of the independent music and independent artists industry. I think that he's right when you say you can't lose your passion. You can't lose your passion when it comes to, yes, this fight between the world and what the world wants, but you and your inner creator and what you want. And I believe that God gave gifts, and he gave this man an incredible gift. A 4-octave range gift. I got a 2-note range gift. That's not even really a gift. My gifts are in something different. My gifts may be in, I know how to draw, I know I can rap, I know I can, don't ask me to freestyle, I won't do that. But long story short, it ends up being something, that is used to be able to further the people around you. It's used to be able to inspire people around you. And oftentimes God will use it in order to affect change around you. Passions are passions. Everyone's got a different gift. There's no two people that are going to have the exact same gift. You can try as you might to figure it out. You won't find it.
Be humble to realize when something's not working and change and adapt and experimentate, then change and adapt again. Repeat that process until you find something that, hey, people like this and I like to do it. Then you keep doing it and there you go. You're rich. Yeah, I could talk a long time about that subject, but I don't want the video to be too big. So guys, leave on the comments of this video any sort of questions or comments that you want me to react to, and I may do another one of those. Hope to see you next time. Until then, my friends, have yourselves an epic day.
Aw, dang. Dang. It's already over. What makes me sad? What makes me really sad? Who here wants a reaction? If I can get, a bunch of heart symbols, I'll do a live reaction on here. If I can get a bunch of heart symbols, who wants a live reaction? I got 22 viewers. Yeah? Okay. Alright. Okay, yeah, perfect. Alright. Good. Alright, so you all see my screen? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Dan Vasc. I've done My Heart Will Go On. Let's see. I've done that one. Let's see. Which one have I not done? Let's see. I did this one already, just so you guys know. I did Wuthering Heights. That one's gonna be... I've done Toto already. Super Vasc 3D? Is that him? His gaming streams. I'm gonna subscribe to his gaming streams. That's cool. Didn't even know he had that channel. Okay. Epic cover songs. Roseanne. Let's see if I could find Roseanne. Yeah, I've heard The Sound of Silence. The Sound of Silence is on my playlist. So is Pour Some Sugar on Me. There was some people who were like, go do Pour Some Sugar on Me. It's pretty awesome. Alright, here we go. Live reaction of Toto.
The all-new GoDaddy
Roseanne.
Arrow helps you get your business online in minutes with the power...
I'm not a fan of GoDaddy. GoDaddy just doesn't do anything for me. But I do. I build websites. Just saying.
Rosanna, Rosanna, never thought that a girl like you could ever care for me. Rosanna, all I wanna do in the middle of the evening is hold you tight. Rosanna, Rosanna, I didn't know you were looking for more than I could ever be. Not quite a year since she went away. Rosanna, yeah.
I just realized I was doing the same thing as he was. Look at him. Okay, he's like, and then here he's like, and then there he's like, I love me some Dan. Dan is so amazing.
Now she's gone, and I have to say, meet you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. Meet you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. I can see your face still shining through the window on the other side. Rosanna, Rosanna, I didn't know that a girl like you could make me feel so sad. Rosanna.
So, really quick, guys, I will tell you. And by the way, Karen, you're 100% okay. I don't read into any of the comments that way. But I will tell you with one thing with Dan here. I watched his Wuthering Heights, and I'm actually going to be posting that here in probably an hour or two after I edit it. I'm just going to add my little, thing in the very beginning. And oh my gosh, you're going to be surprised at my reaction. I'm still reeling off of that. Just saying. Just saying. By the way, you want to say hi to my puppy really quick? Come here. You seem to want to say hi. My little doggy. His name is Diamond. And yes, it's a boy. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? You came in here to say hi. Okay. Alright. So, let's get back into it. Rosanna, Rosanna. See, I can't sing to save my life.
Rosanna. She's gone, and I have to say, meet you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. Meet you all the way. Meet you all the way.
I just have to say that you think one Dan is epic? How about 3? Just saying. Just saying. Could you imagine if you had 3 Dans standing in front of you? You'd be like, at just seeing the one, and then you'd be like, who do I talk to first?
Meet you all the way. Yeah, yeah. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. Meet you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. Meet you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna, yeah. Meet you all the way. Meet you all the way. Rosanna,
So, how many of you guys would seriously like to meet Dan in person? I know I would. And like I said, if you had 3 Dans standing in front of you, like that last frame, you would have 4 Dans standing in front of you. Man, I'd be shocked. I'd be like, can you just stand north, south, east, and west? So I'm just completely surrounded by the love of Dan. Very jazzy. Right? Right, Derek? I would too. I'd love to just sit there and say, hey, my man, you have like helped shape the lives of people. Hi, Susan. It's good to see you on here. Yeah, and a hug. For sure. I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm a hugger. I mean, when people come into the church, I'm like, hug! Of course, I ask them before, I just run up to them and give them a hug, because you never know. I mean, some people may not like hugs. And, but yeah, so, with that being said, guys, thank you for joining me today. If you guys have any particular things that you would like to see me do that are not music, so like if you want me to do this like live reaction again to something that's not music, but it's a specific video, if you can email it to me, my email is actually on my YouTube profile. It's pastorbrentreacts@gmail.com. Email it to me, that way I get a notification on my phone. I'm getting a lot of comments, so I don't want it to get mixed in the comments. But I will tell you that I really appreciate you guys. Every single one of you are amazing. I love you guys. Your life matters. You matter. You're amazing. You continue to be amazing every single day. And I will see you guys tomorrow when I release another Dan video. Actually, later today when I release another Dan video. Wuthering Heights, here we come. But with that, I will see you guys later. Oh, one final note. If you guys do send something and you want to see me react to something where it's just like a commentary or a podcast, things like that, I'm 100% game for that. And as I mentioned, just please send that to my, I'm trying to keep them separate. So if I do something live, it's going to come from my email. If I do a reaction to music, it's going to come from the comments from Facebook. Wow. We're totally on Facebook. There's a difference between red and blue. But from the YouTube comments. So I will see you guys later. I love you guys. Take care.